It's Thursday night, y'all, and we are coming to y'all from the Angelica up here in Mosaic City for tonight's double feature, double header of Parasite, and what else we got? We got the Lighthouse. How are those two potential Oscar contenders gonna fare out, huh? What about Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, Zombieland Double Tap, and Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, huh? How are those gonna fare out for you? All 5 of those movie reviews for you and more on this upcoming right now episode of The Real Rush, episode number 55. You know what to do. Go ahead and bang your head to the opening rip. And y'all best believe that your boy was up in the middle of Mosaic City Plaza on Thursday night, just acting a fool just like that. Right in front of the Angelica. Not a care in the world, y'all. Because who gonna run that town tonight? It was your boy J-Dub, and what's up, y'all? It is your boy J-Dub here on Real Rush, episode number 55! Right here on YouTube. What's happening, y'all? How's everybody doing today, tonight, whenever y'all might be watching this? The intro was filmed on Thursday. It is Sunday as we filmed this. Right here, right now. So, let's go ahead and get on down to the brass tacks of what we got for y'all on episode 55 of Real Rush. As a matter of fact, there's a little nugget of information that I wanted to bestow upon it, y'all here, and I almost forgot this. Wait a minute, where are we going here? Here it is. Okay, so as of last week, before we even got to episode 55, so as of last week, Pain and Glory was the last movie that we saw. So going into this episode, that made 155 movies for season 3 of The Real Rush. So that's season 3 as The Real Rush as a whole, outside of the broader scope of YouTube. So beyond past and present and future and whatever else the WWE intro says. So yes, coming into this episode, we were at 155 movies coming into this episode, and now we got, as I stated last week, 5 reviews for y'all this week here on episode 55. I'm gonna be doing that shit all night, son. Alright, so get used to it. But before we officially get down to the brass tacks of what is on this episode's Real Rush ticket, I'm in a little bit of a what's a good word for this? A quandary, I suppose you could say, because there were so many good movies / blockbuster big releases to come out this week that, in coming into episode 55, I did not know and still don't know which movie to officially kick off the Real Rush ticket of episode 55 with. So, what I'm going to do in this instance, what I have decided upon doing, is I'm going to let my old friend Juventude decide for us, ladies and gents. For those that don't know, Juventude is what I have named my companion of many, many years. My good luck charm, if you will. A little Stay Puft Marshmallow Man I found on eBay around 2001 or so. Say hi to people. Hi people! So yeah, Juventude, y'all. I named him after the wrestler, Juventude Guerrero. He's Juventude Jenkins. So, we're going to let Juventude, or Juvi here for short, decide which movie we're going to start things off here with tonight. I wanted to start things off here with the blockbuster. That's forgiven. Or that's a given. Yes. So, which one is it going to be? Is it going to be Heads for Zombieland Double Tap? Or is it going to be Juventude's ass for Maleficent, Mistress of Evil? So I guess we're just going to give him a good old fashioned Olympic style backflip and hope I catch him here in my lap and see what happens here. Oh, yeah, man, that's. But what movie are we starting off here with? You landed up facing me. So we're gonna kick things off here with tonight. Thanks, Juvi. You know, sometimes you know, life or your fucking good luck charm of a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man hits you in the nuts sometimes. So that means we're gonna kick things off here tonight, or this episode, with Zombieland Double Tap. This is the sequel to the 2009 blockbuster sleeper hit out of nowhere, Zombieland. And we got the returning characters: Columbus, Tallahassee, Little Rock, and Wichita, respectively. Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin. 10 years later, they have progressed and still survived this far. They still met some people along the way, but after, you know, being somewhat of a makeshift family over these last couple of years, you know, Little Rock, she's growing up Little Rock now. She wants to do her own thing, and she ends up splitting. Now they gotta go find her amidst the fucking zombie crisis that is still going on in the United States of Zombieland. So this is in the footsteps of its predecessor, an action horror comedy, directed also by Ruben Fleischer, who did the original, as well as last year's sleeper hit of the fucking like century, Venom. Is it as good as his predecessor? Not too far off. I wouldn't rate it, you know, quite, you know, equal as it, but it ain't too terribly far off. You still got the cameos in it. Ooh, I almost had a little Pat Collins come out there, but you still got a couple little cameos in it. I ain't gonna give that part away, but the laughs are on point. The zombie kills are on point, and you got showing up new in this edition. You got Rosario Dawson and Luke Wilson and Thomas Middleditch. That's not giving anything away there. Those aren't necessarily cameos or anything like that, but because you see them in the trailer and shit. But yeah, this joint is on point. If you are a fan of the original, this one does not disappoint as well. Make sure that you do stay all the way through the ending credits when you do go to see it. Since it's not a comic book movie, I do feel like I should have to go ahead and tack that on, so that way you don't miss anything from Zombieland Double Tap. Anything else that I wanted to tack on to Zombieland Double Tap here? Not necessarily. It's yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. I was pleasantly, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I wish there were actually a couple of Zombieland double features playing around here, but I wasn't able to make it to one of those. But I wish that I had to do that. And I have seen the original. I haven't seen the original since I saw the original, and that was when I was on a train to go down to Norfolk to meet my boy Smiles, who I actually went to AEW with a couple weeks ago, and we were going to a TNA event later on that night. That's actually the night that I met Ric Flair up in the TED Constant Convocation Center. But anywho, I love the original. I love this one just the same. So this will be a double feature in my collection as soon as this one hits Blu-ray or 4K, whatever, as well. But yeah, Zombieland, very entertaining if you're a fan of the original. Or if you're not a fan of the original, this does a fair job of somewhat standing on its own, so you don't necessarily have to have seen Zombieland or know too terribly much of it if you get the gist of, for lack of a better term, if you want it to be spoiled for you, or if you just want to get a gist of like who the characters are, that should be enough. But do yourself a favor if you haven't seen the original Zombieland, and do watch the original Zombieland. That is good prep before you see this, because it is kind of like an instruction manual. But anywho, yes, Zombieland Double Tap, playing everywhere, y'all. See it where and when you can, highest quality possible. Good job, good job, good job on a well done sequel there. Does it leave room for a triple tap? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? This one was dependent on the fans. Everybody was rooting for a sequel to Zombieland. And we got it, y'all. So, go ahead and enjoy it. Enjoy it. I kind of equate it to, like, you know, the fan reaction to, or the fans wanting, like, the sequel to Super Troopers. And we got it. Yeah. Zombie. Double tap. Playing everywhere. Check it out, y'all. Next up on this episode. So the next up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket, we would have to go right on into the other big release of this weekend, the other wide release of this weekend, and that is the new Disney movie, but Disney sequel to the 2014 hit. 2014? I believe it was 2014. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Evil shenanigans. Maleficent, up to evil shenanigans. Is it Maleficent up to evil shenanigans? Or is it the equally as dastardly looking from the trailer Michelle Pfeiffer up to the evil shenanigans? Ooh, who's up to the evil shenanigans? Green, evil shenanigans. There's nothing Irish about Maleficent at all. Or Leprechaun. Well, there are some Leprechaunish type elements in it. That's not giving anything away. But this is a sequel to Maleficent of 2014. I believe it was 2014. And that was a pretty dope-ass movie. And this does follow the same characters, Maleficent and her goddaughter Aurora. 10 years later. 5 years later. And her and the prince, they're still in love. From the original, but now played by Harris Dickinson, who I couldn't quite place my finger on, like, what the fuck had I seen him in before? And he was the dude from Beach Rats from 2 years ago, which was a amazing movie, but definitely not a family movie, definitely not a Disney movie, yet I digress. So, they want to get married, but Harris Dickinson's parents, who are the king and queen, the queen, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, she's up to some evil shit. And some shit happens, and as you can see from the trailer, I don't want to give, that much away because there is a little bit of twists and turns that aren't in the trailer, but as you can see, Maleficent pretty much forbids any union and flies off to nowhere, gets banished to somewhere, and meets more of her own. And to what effect does this play on the story? So yeah, hats off, most certainly, to the performances of Angelina Jolie and Michelle Pfeiffer. I feel like, for some reason, that is not necessarily an unspoken, not necessarily like a rivalry or anything, but I guess a good way to say is a matchup that a lot of us, or am I speaking for too many people, have been saying that we would like to have seen for a long time. Angelina Jolie going up against Michelle Pfeiffer, or vice versa. Well, we get that in this movie. Their performances are off the chain. And also, Elle Fanning isn't quite as good as the original. This one, that I would not say nearly as close as I put Zombieland to Zombieland Double Tap. Maleficent, I would have had most certainly given a solid, I believe I gave that like an 8 around the time that it came out, if I was really to rate. Well, yeah, fuck it, I'll rate it right now. I gave Maleficent about an 8. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, I'm gonna have to give this one a little bit more of like a 6 to 6.5-ish range. I mean, it does have, it's darker than the original, both visually and with the content, which that I'm not taking points away from that at all, but at some points it just felt a little jumbled, and the way that it arrived at the ending is just kind of, so it wasn't quite as well composed, I suppose you could say, as the original. But that's not to say that if you are not a fan, or if you're a fan of the original, that you will not enjoy this one. Because the way I'm feeling about this one, this one certainly does leave room for a third one, and I'm sure they were already planning this as at least a trilogy upon the success, if not before, of Maleficent from a few years ago. But this just feels like that midway part of the trilogy, that it's like the third one's going to be probably pretty good. The first one was awesome, but the second one was always it feels like that second part before we get to the eventual third, which I don't even know if that's like true or not. I could just be totally talking out my ass right now. Maybe we'll put that as a subtitle if I find out something here upon editing this. But yes, take that for what you will. As far as the kiddies go, yeah, well, the first one, that was a little bit in between like PG to PG-13 range. So I would say that for this one, I would say use caution for any of the kiddies like under 9-ish maybe. Or if they're used to some of the darker elements already, then SPG stands for parental guidance is suggested. So suggest your guidance as parents and take that for what you will. But anywho, I saw it in IMAX. That did help. So I would most certainly say take full advantage of when you do see this to take advantage of like the Dolby or the Disney Vision or what have you. But yeah, this one, take that for what it's worth. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's worthy of going as low as like a matinee. So if you still want to take the family to see this and you want to make it like a dinner movie, it's not going to be a waste of your time. Most certainly as a Disney fan, I just felt it a little drawn out, but Disney fans may feel different. So take that for what it's worth. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, playing everywhere, y'all. Play it. Check it where you can find it. Disney fans alike, and Maleficent fans most certainly. Yes. All right. So 6.5. Maleficent. That was like a 7.5 on the Richter scale right there. It just didn't look that way on camera. Trust me. But it was. I possess that type of power. Next up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket. So now we're getting into this year's awards contenders. And this is where I said I didn't quite know where I wanted to start off this episode. Thursday night, we switched shit up. So Maleficent we saw yesterday. We saw that shit on Saturday. Zombieland we saw on Friday as a pregame to Friday night's Bandit show, which I'll give you details about at the end of the show. Thursday, we ended up going out to Angelica, as you saw during the intro there. And as you heard during the intro, it was a double header of Parasite and Lighthouse. Two, not even just possible awards contenders of the year, but most certainly already just contenders for best films of the year on many lists. So, which one do I want to start off here with again? Fucking movie. I'm gonna grace thee the power again, and let's try to aim not for the nuts again, okay? So this time, we're gonna do, alright, so we'll do heads for the Lighthouse, movie's ass for Parasite, okay? Alright, there we go. Olympic size backflip, not into my nuts this time. Oh, he's landing face up. I'm picking him straight up. You can see, oh God, there goes the lighting. That costs like $10,000 there. Gotta be careful with that there, Juvi. It's very expensive production, but he did land heads up. So we're gonna start things off here with The Lighthouse. It's a new film from Robert Eggers, the writer and director of The Witch from a couple years ago, critically acclaimed, which I still have yet to see, but it is most certainly on my list. But this one stars Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, two lighthouse keepers in the, from what I gathered, about the mid to late 1800s or something like that, maybe closer to the turn of the century. And isolation, after getting stranded, more or less, at the lighthouse, starts to set in, and that starts to fuck with their minds. And because of the isolation, it's just them two. Cabin fever and the delusions and psychosis, all that starts to set in. I akin it to, if anybody's ever seen The Edge, 1997, Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins, they got lost in the woods, and the isolation and having to trust on each other for survival starts to mess with their nerves and their minds and shit. This one, The Lighthouse, pretty much same concept, different setting, obviously, but on a much deeper, more detailed psychological scale. And brilliantly played off. Masterpiece. I do feel that this, along with actually no, I don't remember if I gave Joker an official, like, that should be a Best Picture nominee, but Lighthouse, just from its cinematography alone, I think is gonna get a Best Picture nomination. That's point number one. Point number two. Okay, so let's get down to the brass tacks of the movie itself. It's a psychological horror, but it's also very dark comedy. And the screenplay for this is choice, for much lack of many better terms, I'm sure. That's 2 points, 2 or 3. Willem Dafoe, point 4. Easy Best Actor nomination, if not leading into point 5, possibly going into a head-to-head with Robert Pattinson, as he has like this, he almost has like a Daniel Plainview, Daniel Day-Lewis from There Will Be Blood type vibe to his character in this movie. And the movie itself almost has like a little bit of a There Will Be Blood type vibe to it. And the way that it's shot in 1.33 to 1 aspect ratio, which is your standard aspect ratio to standard definition TV. So it's boxed in, yeah? Just like an old movie. And the cinematography in it, the way that it's filmed on black and white 35mm film, just like an old school classic around like the 30s, maybe 40s, maybe even a little bit earlier than that. Choice. Something that definitely needs to be seen in the theaters. Definitely needs to be seen in the theaters. And I would even warrant that this has more of a almost like a necessary second viewing appeal to it, because there's so much in it. It's about an hour and 55 minutes long, but there's still so many elements to it, and so many like little quick bits of dialogue in this movie that you'll miss if you blink or you're not listening at the right second, that it does warrant a second viewing for full effect, much like Fight Club did with myself and many other viewers back in the day. But nonetheless, I would even say, if you need to see it again, then see it in the theater again, because that's what I would plan on doing if I can possibly fit that into my schedule. But yeah, the screenplay, cinematography, the performances from both Pattinson and Dafoe, all off the chain, all high ranking. Lighthouse, in limited release right now. It is currently playing at the Angelica. I'm not sure where else in the area it is playing, but You know where to check. You check your IMDb. You check your Fandango and find out where the Lighthouse is playing. And go see this movie immediately following this episode of The Real Rush right here, right now, y'all. Because this one is definitely going to be a contender of sorts. Primo. There's going to be more than one Real Rush golf clap of the week here, yo. This isn't even a golf clap. This is like a bravo clap and shit. Jam. Avenue. Alright, so that means that what was the ass part, Juvi? It was Parasite. So that means that the next movie up on episode 55's Real Rush Ticket is a new South Korean film called Parasite. And this is also a satirical dark comedy as well. And it follows the story of basically two families as they intersect. You have a lower class family who, the son of which gets asked to step in as the English tutor for the daughter of a very affluent South Korean family. Now, this man has like no college degree or anything like that, but not to give too much away, so he steps in to do that. But long story short, this whole family of more or less con artists work their way into this family's like employment tree as housekeepers and shit like that. And though quite amusing at times, the class struggle in between the two, and one spur of the moment just shifted all out of what you think that this joint is going to turn out to be. This is what we saw before the Lighthouse on Thursday night. And you want to talk about like I can't even classify this as like a mind fuck. This is a film fuck. Like the twist is so hardcore, or it's so twisted, perhaps. But I actually personally like this better than Lighthouse. This won the Palme d'Or at this year's Cannes Film Festival. This also is the selection, the official entry, the official South Korean entry for the upcoming 92nd Academy Awards here. There's something else that I had written down about it. Excuse me for just 1 second here, ladies and gents here. Yes, director Bong Joon-ho. Same director who did Snowpiercer a few years ago. Still on the Netflix queue. But this movie, it has like, it does make you laugh, and it does give you like the sense of familial bonds and shit in it. And it does have your creepy moments and such, but so superbly put and intertwined together. So I would actually the fact that I did enjoy this better than Lighthouse, and I didn't think about this aspect of it till right now. It's very rare. I'll have to research this as well, but has a foreign movie ever been, at least within my lifetime, so we talk about since 1982, nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards? Did that just happen a few years ago and I'm just completely braining out on it? Maybe I'll include that as a subtitle as well. I'm not sure. But this would be one that would deserve that designation, in my opinion. Just overall, bravo. There's that clap again, all the way. This one also in a very limited release. This one's currently playing at the Angelica. It will be opening up at Cinema Arts in Fairfax City this coming weekend. Definitely check this one out. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. There's so much more that I want to say about the movie, but I feel like it'll give it away. It truly has to be, much like the Lighthouse, both of them. I can't speak to, did I speak too much on the Lighthouse? I hope I didn't. But they both have to truly be seen. They both have to be seen to be truly believed. They both have to truly be seen to be believed. So go truly see those shits immediately. Yeah. Not just for their awards value, but because they are brilliant, outstanding fucking movies. Better than Zombieland, way better than Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. We're talking like Joker caliber shit here and beyond. We're talking top 11 movie, like my top 11 that I presented back in episode 43. Pat Collins' NBC4 episode, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood episode. Yeah, that list, so from the first half of the year, that's pretty much like shattered. Yeah, but we'll get to that in a couple weeks. But yeah, Parasite and The Lighthouse. Limited, but most certainly playing in your area somewhere. You looking for a good movie, don't just Netflix and chill, yo. Go see this double feature. I'm plugging the Angelica right now. Back to back. You won't be disappointed. Personally, I would do Lighthouse, then Parasite. But take that as you will. Outstanding movies! Last but most certainly not least, on this episode's Real Rush ticket, an extremely limited release. We talking so extreme that it was a Fathom event. So I even got the poster for that shit. Get that shit. Yeah! So obviously, the movie that I'm talking about right now is Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. And Jay and Silent Bob Reboot is essentially a reboot of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back from 2001. As Kevin Smith even said, and I quote, "It's literally the same fucking movie all over again, with a couple of different elements in it. Just 18 years later, and it's real good. It's real good. I don't know. So basically, what they said is, after the Fathom events, the first one that was, when did we see it? We saw it on Tuesday night. And they gave away the poster. That was the only night that they gave away the poster. Thursday night, they did it with a double showing of that and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back playing beforehand. But after that, it's only on a roadshow release until it either hits wide release or it drops on Netflix or it hits Blu-ray or whatever. But definitely find and view that shit where you can. Especially if you're a Kevin Smith fan. It would be, as I stated in my Instagram review of this, the short one from a couple days ago, it would be a true sin to miss this if you are a Kevin Smith fan. It's hilarious. It's even heartwarming at times, as some of Kevin Smith's other movies have been. Not necessarily like the Jay and Silent Bob, like driven movies, but even Jason Mewes pulls off like some really good acting in this one, and enough to make you tear up, especially if like you're very familiarized with the View Askew universe, and you've invested yourself in these characters over the years. So very heartwarming at times. The cameos in it, off the chain. Just Actually, I don't even want to throw out too terribly many, but like I stated last episode, Chris Jericho does show up in it at one point. Chris Hemsworth shows up in it at one point. Matt Damon shows up in it at one point, and all the cameos are on point when they do happen. But yeah, wherever you can find it. So if it's on Roadshow, that means that it's on tour. That means it'll probably come back around this area at some point too. The Washington D.C. metropolitan area, Northern Virginia area, Maryland area. Not to leave y'all out, because y'all you're the middle part of the fucking DMV. DMV, Maryland. So don't get pissed if I leave y'all motherfuckers out. So yeah, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. I can't wait for this to drop on some type of home media platform after it comes back in theater fashion again. But yeah, where you can find it, go see it. If you were able to see it a couple days ago, good job, because you want to talk about limited release and talk about that's a movie event, damn it. That's a movie event, yo. Yeah. So, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Where you can find it, if you can find it, check it out, yo. And that, my friends, is a wrap for episode 55 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. Thank y'all so much for joining us once again right here. But as I stated a couple moments ago, this past Friday's Bandit show went very well. Great audience reaction, and everybody, we all had a great time doing it for y'all. So thank you to everybody who came out, and thank you to everybody who did such a wonderful job putting everything together. And to the Bandits, as always, y'all always kicking ass. I'm always so proud of my peoples, y'all. So yes. And that means that since that this past third Friday of the month has passed, then that means that next one is on the horizon in the not too distant future. Which means that the next Bandit show is on, what we got it on? We got it on November 15th, so that'll be November 15th, Friday, November 15th, at the Stagecoach Theater Company in Ashburn, Virginia at 7:30 p.m. Doors open at 7 p.m. You can find your tickets either online or at the door, but very close to sold out show this past Friday, so once again I recommend getting your tickets online, reserving your spot there early. $12 online or $15 at the door. But if you go online to get your tickets and you use the promo code John, all caps, JOHN, John, go ahead and wear that shit out. You go ahead and get yourself a discount off that, somewhere off that $12 there. How much is the discount? Yeah, gonna have to check it out to find out. Where can you check out your tickets so you can actually visit, actually check out, we went right to checkout. I didn't say view your tickets, I said check out your ticket. Where can you get your tickets? You can get your tickets at stagecoachtc.com/stagecoach-bandits. Once again, that is stagecoach, T as in Thomas, C as in coach.com/stagecoach-bandits. Promo code John, all caps. Wear that shit out, yo. And coming up next week on episode 56 of The Real Rush, right here on YouTube, we're going to have reviewed for you. We got we got another 5-movie weekend, which includes another movie event. But, so we say the movie event for last. For next week, we'll have a review for you. We'll have Black and Blue. That's looking quite intriguing. I am looking forward to that one. And, one of my co-workers did say that we're having a shortage of scary movies this year, and this seems to be like one of the very few. Countdown. We're gonna have that review for you. We'll see how that one goes. We'll also have a review for you, Jojo Rabbit, the new Taika Waititi movie. Looking very forward to that one. We'll have that shit for you, review for you next week. We also have The Current War, and from what I'm reading online and from what I've even seen in a few of the TV trailers, is that it's the director's cut of the current war. And this is looking like a contender as well. So yeah, definitely stoked for that. And that brings us to another Fathom event this coming Monday. Select theaters nationwide. One night only. QT8. Quentin Tarantino. The First 8. And it's a 2-hour retrospective on my favorite all-time director and his movies, with interviews with various cast members from a lot of his movies, such as Tim Roth and Michael Madsen, and I forget who else they showed in the trailer. I just remember just drooling, and when I came to, the entire theater was in disarray, and whoever was in the theater, they were all cowering by the corner of the movie screen in horror at what I had just done, because it was just so... I mean, I didn't do it to be scary, I guess, but then again, I blacked out, so who knows. But anywho, it looks fucking awesome, and I can't wait to see that shit Monday night. So see that shit where you can, where you can. Once again, limited engagement. Don't say that I didn't warn you. Hopefully I gets this out on Monday night, so that way I don't look like a complete jackass. Yeah. Alright, anywho. So we'll have those 5 movies reviewed for y'all next week on episode 56 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. But in the meantime, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any shit like that, feel free to please type those on into the YouTube page where you are viewing this week's episode right here, right now. To everybody who has subscribed to The Real Rush right here on YouTube thus far, thank you for doing so. And if you haven't, what the hell are you waiting for? If you want to be the first to know when your boy drops a new episode, please spread the word also of The Real Rush, like everybody should be spreading love these days, ladies and gents. So tell your peoples about your boy, so that way they can subscribe, and they can tell their people, and they can tell their people, and they can tell their people, and they can tell their people and shit. And don't forget that The Real Rush does have And don't forget that The Real Rush does have replay value, ladies and gents. So any movie that's come out over the last year, give or take a few weeks, that you want to know what your boy thought about, all you gotta do, type on up and look on up in that search bar, up in the YouTube, at the top of the page here. I'm gonna go all Joel Osteen on it and shit. Go ahead and look at the search bar right there at the top of the page, and all you have to do is type, just type, in quotation marks, The Real Rush. Alright, then outside of quotation marks, type the name of the movie that you're looking for, and then boom! Instant movie review on demand from your boys here at The Real Rush, because The Real Rush has you covered for life, son! But in the meantime, you can, as always, follow your boy on Instagram for my live movie check-ins as they occur, and that is at JDubChampion, hashtag The Real Rush. And for The Real Rush, ladies and gents, I am your boy J-Dub. Thank you once again for watching this episode number, fuck it, we gonna do it one more time. We gonna do the 55! Episode 55 right here on YouTube. Remember, when you are at the movies, y'all, chill out. Don't need to be doing all the talking and looking at the phone, and you can even put the smartwatches like on the dim. Just put everything away, all that, because I guarantee that any conversation and even the time, all that, it's going to be waiting for you. It's going to be there for you after the movie's all said and done with. I guarantee you that. But enjoy yourselves at the movies, ladies and gents. Have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. And we'll see you next weekend. Peace out.